Yo guys, what up? It is Master Darius here, bringing ice here today. Another map review on the BTB Refresh. It's been a little while since my first BTB Refresh review on Dispelled. And since some of you wanted me to do some more map reviews, I'm going to be doing Estuary today, which is the other one of these 4 new maps that have been released to the BTB Refresh. Now, first of all, I would like to apologize for the lack of activity on the Halo Zone channel. We've been busy for the most part, but some of us are going to be restarting on Halo Zone, giving you guys some more content. And second of all, there's a announcement I would like to make that will be coming within the next 2 to 3 weeks, which will be taking place within the October holiday season, and that is we're going to be hosting a custom game session on Halo 5 Guardians. That means you guys can play with us some nice custom games on Halo 5, and which will include some cool, fun custom games already organizing some of the stuff. And within the next week, I will be announcing how you guys can participate with us on Halo 5, and also including the date and time of when this will take place. Hopefully we can make it work out, and I'm pretty sure it will. But anyway, so moving on to the Estuary map review. So the way I do these map reviews is, first of all, I talk about aesthetics of a map, then I talk about the map flow, then I talk about the vehicle play, and then lastly the weapon sandbox. And all these add up to my overall review. And me personally, I think Estuary, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I think it's one of my favorite maps so far. It's going to be a very positive review. So let's talk about the aesthetics. So I would say this is very good graphically, with no frame rate issues. It has a lot of good graphical implementations, not super fancy, but good thing is there's no frame rate issues like some of these have. The art style is very similar to that of Relic in my opinion. You have the rocky structures which are similar, and also kind of similar to burial mounds too, in terms of color at least. So the bases are similar to smaller versions of the Relic bases in terms of aesthetics, like I just said, as they're being made out of a rocky palette. I know how the map creator had, I like how the map creator had one side of the map have greener grounds merged with rocky structures, and the other side have grounds which are also kind of green, but are much more dirtier in my opinion, and also grounds which are completely grey in color with no vegetation and a lot of rocks surrounding them as well, which in my opinion makes both sides kind of unique to each other in a sense. Then also you have a stream of water towards the middle, which is a unique side in the middle of rocky terrain, but also kind of realistic since it's being up in the mountains and the water stream begins in the mountains. Just a little lesson for you guys right there. Some of you of course know that, but whatever. So since a lot of the combat takes place in a high amount of rocky structures in between the bases, I like it how these structures are not kind of boring or quickly mashed together rocks to add something to your map, so you kind of stick there just for the sake of it. But there are a variety of arches on the map and stacks and etc. that make the map more realistic and actually adds to the gameplay. I'll be going over how this actually adds to the gameplay later on. So all of these make the map high quality in my opinion, not that far off of a developer quality map, believe it or not. So then we have map flow, which is arguably one of the most important points of a map, maybe the most important one to making a good map. So the way the map flows is quite different to the other BTB maps in my opinion, which is already quite a good thing, or it can be a bad thing depending on what you guys think about this. So while this map is similar to some of the earlier BTB maps in Halo 5, such as Entombed, Basin, etc., with a bigger focus on infantry gameplay rather than vehicle-oriented gameplay, it still feels like the classic BTB experience from other classic games, and the infantry part of this map has been nailed. I mean, there are 3 big lanes which work in the map, which can split into smaller lanes, giving the player many tactical options to flank their opponents or to form coordinated attacks and still make it simple to learn the map at the same time, which is why this map mainly excels in CTF compared to Slayer. In Slayer it's still kind of fun, but it's not nearly as good as it in CTF in my opinion, which I think is the main focus of this map. Correct me if I'm wrong, map creator, if you see this. So for rocky structures can provide players with a lot of cover, as well as to avoid being bombarded by banshees I find the whole time, or to be sprayed across the map by teams which like to generally teams shoot to gain advantage over you. So therefore teams cannot simply trash on you from range. So the map promotes aggressive play, tactical aggressive play, which is pretty much what I like to do. This is my favorite kind of play style, so I kind of like that. So of course I would kind of like this, believe it or not. So a wide variety of rocks allow for players to also use them to gain further control over certain points of the map and to scout the area of a beam rifle or to maneuver around the map. But not only that, they also allow you to perform some little skill jumps. There's a lot of interesting tactical jumps that you could kind of do to perform ambushes or to get around your opponents. Additionally, you have two teleporters around the map, which are kind of located around the middle of the map, and they allow players to have a chance to surprise and stop the flag carriers, but not only that, but also to just simply get around the other side faster. So it kind of makes the map flow faster in a way, which is a good thing. Then we have two more smaller things, the vehicle play starting off with first. So not heavily focused on the vehicle play, but we do have the ghosts, which are pretty much featured in every single BTB map nearly, and the banshees. Now the ghosts, I think they're really effective going around the rocks, splattering players, and they can be hijacked actually quite easy on this map due to the plasma pistols or players trying to just jump on them from the rocks. But they can still be really effective just going around the map and scouring players. I used to ghost a few times and it's quite good in the map. And the Banshee, while it is no OP on the map, which is actually a good thing, there is not much room for it to escape from taking damage, and it can be team shot quite easily. Players can just shoot in the sky, there's not much room for it to escape. You have a Hydra launcher which can easily target that thing, and however it can still be really effective in coordinated hands, and it can do a lot of damage before it actually gets taken out. Now the last point of this map review is the weapon sandbox, which is what is also really important to me myself. So you have active camos by the bases, and I think they're really effective for this map. So the map is not actually that large, so you have more time and less time lost using the active camo to actually traverse around the map. So this is very useful for CTF, where you can just travel around the map and you can cause a lot of damage on the enemies, assassinate them, whatever, kill the sniper campers, and which is the next point, the beam rifles. I really dislike maps which are really open and give snipers an easy opportunity to get an easy running riot. I don't sort of like those maps, looking at you, Altar. But the beam rifles are not OP, as the map is not quite as open as the sniper campers would like it to be. So you can quite camp it and get easy rights. So the snipers, while they can quite camp, you can still be really effective with a sniper. The rocks allow you for having a high vantage point, so you can kind of scour the bases using your sniper, and kind of you can still be effective and be help to your teammates trying to grab the flag. So it's quite good in that department. Then you have your Hydra, which I must say is a really good choice of this map. It's an absolute monster. The Hydra launcher, from where it is located at, you can have a good view of all the map nearly, and you can just destroy people, that thing. If you know how to use it, it will just wreck many people and just go to work. Let's just put it that way, nothing more to be said about it. Then you have the Plasma Caster. It's the final main power weapon, and it is really an effective aggressive weapon just for attacking the bases to get these a flag. You have a lot of rocks, so you can kind of, so that means a lot of space to bounce off your plasma nades from, and also for narrow spaces within the base, making it overall really effective weapon. So overall, this is a really good map. There's not many negatives I can come up with, but if you guys have any negatives, you can list them down in the comment section below in case the map maker actually sees them. But the only downside I actually do see is spawning, which is pretty much a huge problem overall in Halo 5 and pretty much any other Halo game out there. But the spawning, I think the main problem with spawning is because the map is not entirely that large, so it's not I don't know, but yeah, it's spawning's a problem. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, people.